We are live. We are direct. She leads, she sells with Gina Johnson, who is an entrepreneurial business consultant who helps people to grow, get visible, and to step into the higher version of themselves. She believes in holistic business, which means combining spirit with mindset, with strategy for a unique blend that allows her clients to put forward their soul's work. You might find Gina helping people to plan their goals for 2026. You might find her trying to map out their dream marketing roadmap. Welcome to She Leads, She Sells. Gina Johnson in the virtual building. Speak to me, sister.
Well, that is a great introduction. Thank you, Jay. Can you say that on a megaphone and like maybe,
Of
drive
course.
around and it sounded
You
pretty
hear that?
good.
I'm catching a flight tomorrow. Just let me know the location, or we might meet. We might meet in Portugal. Yeah, Lisboa. Let's meet in Lisboa. 100%. So yeah, let me
Oh,
know.
I love it.
Yeah, let me know who is your ideal client. Is it a six-figure coach, or is it someone who's in corporate who wants to pivot? Like, yeah, let me know who's ideal for you.
Well, an ideal client for me is anyone who wants to make six figures or more. So it's
Mm-hmm.
typically women in business. I do have a few men that I work with, but primarily it's women who's stepping out of corporate America, launching their own business, and really setting up those foundation fundamentals of branding and marketing and who they are and tapping into their soul. So really, anybody who, well, let me tell you, anybody who is ambitious. I left the word ambitious out because I don't like to work with people that say the dog ate my homework. You know what I mean?
100%. I do get that. Yeah. I mean, if it was like percentages here,
Yeah.
like some say, hey, it's 50% strategy, 50% mindset, or whatever. What's the breakdown? Like, is it energetics 33%, mindset 33, strategy? Like, yeah.
It's purpose and passion.
Okay. Unpack
It's
that.
that simple. You have to have the drive, and it starts with, a simple question: what can you lose yourself in all day long?
Ooh.
Right? And I'll tell you a funny story, Jay. I met this woman, and she came highly recommended from a former client. She wanted to start a jewelry making business. Great. I'll never forget it. It was several years ago. We meet at Panera. We have coffee. She comes in, old school, check on the table. She's ready to sign away. And as I'm having this conversation with her, and she wants to start a jewelry business, I realize she doesn't have one piece of jewelry on. And I'm thinking like, phew, that's weird. You, you're not wearing jewelry, but you want to make jewelry? And then I was thinking, well, why wouldn't she bring me a piece of jewelry? I mean, I used to be a chef, and till this day, whatever's on my stove, if I'm meeting a client that day, I have a little Tupperware container, and I'm like, here you go, because it's passion, and food is one of my love languages, and I want to feed people. So if you make jewelry, why wouldn't she bring me a little gift of jewelry? So I was already feeling like, why does she want to start this business? So I start out of the gate with this question: if I handed you $300 in a full day for you to do whatever you want, what would you do? And she's like, oh, this is such a great question. She's like, I think I'd go to the spa and I'd have a facial. And she's going on and on and on. And I'm like, oh boy. And then I kept asking like these related questions. And and then, she didn't have the answers. So finally I said, why didn't you say, oh, I'd go buy beads and I would, lock myself in my room and I would just make jewelry all day and create and this whole thing? And she's like, I don't know. And she was shocked. And I was like, and how come you didn't bring me any jewelry? And she's like, I'm like, well, what'd you make? I'm like, you wearing anything? And so I was basically peppering her. And then it finally came to it. And I said, if you're not passionate about jewelry making, why do you want to launch a business and make jewelry? And she's like, oh, I just need a job. I lost my job in like corporate or something. I was like, what? I was like, keep your money. I'm not your coach. I'm not going to take your money because you don't have enough passion to make your business work. So that's a true story. And I walked away without a new client.
No, that makes like something hit me when you said passion and purpose, because I think we're in a generation where people are chasing profit and procrastination. Like they're procrastinating on what they should be doing and chasing the shiny objects, the AIs and things like
Hmm.
this. Yeah. What have you found in terms of people procrastinating from the true journey that they should be on?
Well, I find that people procrastinate because they don't want to do it. And they're doing it because they think they should do it, right? They think they should be doing this. And I'll tell you another story about procrastination in business. I was interviewing this client. She was already a client. She had already signed on.
Yeah.
It's like our first or second session, and this is years ago. This is in person, and she was a massage therapist.
Hmm.
And I said, "So tell me what's on your menu. Like, what do you offer?" And then she was like, "Oh, well, I offer," and she does like really cool I forgot what it's called, like Thai massage,
Hmm.
where she has like bars and she holds onto them and she walks on your back and she explained all this. And she was super passionate and super exciting. And then she went, and then I offer Reiki. And I was like, oh, and I'm noticing her body language. And then she's going on and she says this and she goes, oh, and chair massage. And so she finishes all the things. I was like, so why do you hate doing Reiki and chair massage? And she goes, I didn't say that. I'm like, yeah, your body said that. And she's like, well, I don't know. I just feel like I don't know what I'm doing. I'm a Reiki master and I hate when people order it and they want to incorporate it in their massage and no, 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 no. And then I was like, okay, so why do you hate the chair massage? I was like, does it hurt your back? She's like, yeah, it sucks. It's like, it hurts my back, it this and this and this. And I was like, well, take it off your website. Why are you offering it? She's like, oh, I don't know. There's no reason. It's your business. You didn't launch a business to do stuff you don't want to do. Take it off. She was like, I can do that? Like, it's your business? Like, it's so simple, right? It's like giving people permission to be themselves. Again, so it was kind of a long answer, but the procrastination piece comes from doing something in your business that you don't want to do. If it has to be done, hire an expert in that, right? Somebody who does this. If you don't build websites, you should not be building websites even for yourself. If you are, all everybody wants to do is what they're good at. But sometimes as entrepreneurs, we have to do little things. But I find if people are not doing something, it's because they really don't want to do it. And they won't admit it. They're offering a service or a product that they shouldn't be. It's out of their comfort zone or whatever it is. So I like to, as the holistic piece, I like to unravel like what's at the heart of why aren't they doing it. And I call them out on it and call a spade, and they go, oh, how'd you know that?
Amazing. Can I just say that V-neck jumper that you've got is one of the best items that I've ever seen.
The what?
The V-neck jumper that you've got on. It really suits you.
Thank you. You're so funny.
No.
I
Yeah,
appreciate
for
that.
sure. Yeah. She leads, she sells. Look, this is about selling.
Mm.
How do you sell your programs, and what have you found generally amongst women and the word sales in terms of how they react to sales? So yeah, both
Oh,
questions towards you.
this is a great question. And I do have to say, before we get on the call, I didn't know any questions that you were going to ask me. And I said, fire at me. And I love it because I don't like to prepare, like it to come from the heart. Right. And I remember teaching a workshop once and I asked the question in the room. I said, raise your hand. It was all women entrepreneurs. Raise your hand if you hate sales. And everybody in the room raised their hands. And I looked at them and I said, okay, lean in. Pay attention to what I'm about to say. And everybody was like this. And I'm like, too bad. And they're like, what? I'm like, if you are in business, you are in sales. Because if you can't sell what you're offering, and then, hang it up. You have to sell. You have to believe in what you're selling. And yes, you're a salesperson. Yeah, you're a salesperson. I'm a salesperson.
Hmm.
But people don't want to think of themselves that way. And I basically just say like, well, too bad. Suck it up, buttercup. If you're going to be in business, you have to be in sales. And it's the truth. It's so simple.
100%. How do you sell?
How do I
Is it the
sell?
workshop? Yeah, workshop that you do.
So, there's the typical funnels, right? Everybody has a funnel. And this is a lead magnet. So people will see me. They might resonate with my energy and my vibe. And then they might go and follow me. So that's a lead magnet. Another lead magnet would be teaching a workshop. I'm speaking, teaching goal setting for Madison Chamber next week. I'm teaching my own workshops. It's really not about the sales. It's about being authentic and being you. And if the person resonates with you. And if when I'm on a sales conversation and someone is hesitating, I'm not pushing them over the edge. Because if I push them over the edge, they're going to have buyer's remorse. May regret their decision, right? And they're not ready for it. So you know what I say to people when they go like, "Well, I'm not sure," and I say, "You know what? Then you shouldn't sign on because if it's not a hell yes, then it's a no." I'm like, "Just do me this favor. Why don't you go interview 2 more coaches? Go have a conversation. Go interview 2 more coaches. Get the feel, get the vibe, and then, make a decision based on how you feel inside." And they're like, "What?" So I don't talk people into working with me.
Hmm.
I just show them examples and I say honest things that make them go, "What did you just say? Did you really just say that?" And I make them question because I coach from inside out, from the soul. So it really starts with conversations. And then I'll tell people, don't buy the whole coaching package. If you think you're ready but you don't want the whole thing, just buy 3 sessions and then we can always upgrade. And they like that. And that's a safety zone. And I can tell. But then there are people that are like, "Oh no, I need to pay up front because I need accountability. And if I know if it's going to hurt my wallet, then I'm going to do the work." Right. And so they have to feel what's right for them. And it's really not talking anybody into it.
Amazing.
Yep.
What does some of your work include in terms of rewiring the subconscious mind? Do you deal with that area of things? Because obviously the subconscious mind drives our behaviors. So,
Yes.
what do you do?
So a lot of people, I tell people this right out of the gate, almost everyone suffers from imposter syndrome. And they're like, "Really?" I'm like, "Oh yeah." At some point you're like, "Why am I doing this? Why would people want to pay me?" And you can't help it. And it's this monkey mind and it's this limiting belief thing right here. So by pointing it out, then I'm allowing people to be honest and to own it. And I can't help anyone with anything that they won't admit.
Hmm.
So and I also do this other thing where I say, uh, rate different areas of your life from here to here. And I ask a lot of like personal questions before I begin coaching so I can coach people based on their answers. And as people start answering, they kind of like spill the bucket. One question sparks something. It's really not for me to understand on a scale from 1 to 10 where your primary relationship is. I just want to know, is your life a shit show or are you pretty balanced? Because if your life is a shit show, I don't want you to bring that energy to your business. It might not be the time to work on your business. So I'm very honest with people, and I think that you either love that or you hate it. Hence the go interview 2 other coaches because I want to be right for you. Because if I'm working with people and they're not a good fit for me, they're not going to have great results, and I'm not going to get rave reviews, which is what I want.
Thanks for laying that out. Tell me, where do you suffer imposter syndrome in terms of growing your
Ooh.
business?
Hmm. I would have to say with group coaching.
Hmm.
I've launched it 3 times, group coaching, and I got a couple of little people, trickles here, trickles there, and then they always just say, "Can I just have you one-on-one? Can I just have you one-on-one?" So I think I have this thing in my head that group coaching isn't the way to go, right? I'm still
Mhm.
selling one-to-one, where selling one-to-many is a lot better business strategy. So that's a little piece of vulnerability that I have.
Yeah, it makes sense. I think what's interesting is that I did a workshop I think last week, and I realized something that while doing hot seat coaching, that it's like when you're in the group, you could almost make it the one-to-one, and other people are maybe learning from the coaching that you're doing with one person, and then it kind of, but of course, like when you get that proximity one-to-one, then you can maybe have that focus and get quicker transformations. And that's the great thing, that there's no one size fits all, and that that there's different elements available. So
Yeah, that's a good point. And sometimes when I'm helping people create packages like your services, I'll tell them, there are usually 3 kinds of people that go to the gym, and I use this as an example. There are the people that are self-motivated. They get themselves up in the morning and they go to the gym every single day on routine. I am not one of those people. right? But those are the people that could probably do group coaching where there's modules or a one-on-one online course because they're self-motivated, right? If it's something they really want. Then there are those people that need a buddy. That's me. I need a buddy. I need a kick in the butt. And I need somebody to go like, oh, we're going to meet at yoga tomorrow. We're going to meet at the gym at this time or this time, right? So those are the people that will excel in a small group when they sign on with a friend. Oh, let's do this class together. Oh, let's do this. They need the
Yes.
buddy, right?
Yeah.
But then there are the people that need the whole group to have the energy from. And that's the group classes. But the one-on-one individual who's self-motivated, they and some of these people, you have to think about it. Like, are you the person? Then there's the person that will sign up with a trainer. And that's also me, right? I need the trainer to work with me one-on-one. Because if I take that same half an hour by myself, probably going to walk on the treadmill and look at my phone and do emails and Facebook and whatever. But if I'm with a trainer and I'm paying and I have accountability, then I'm going to get the most out of my workout. So when you're planning your services and what you offer, your packages, you have to think that some people operate that way. And there are the people that will be like, I want the best of. Those are your VIP clients. They want the most attention. They want all the bells and whistles. They want all of those things. So you have to create your packages based on those personalities because you want people to be comfortable and you don't want that buyer's remorse and you don't want them. You're going to get a little out of your comfort zone, but not too far out because then all the imposter syndrome kicks in and all that other stuff. Does that sound crazy? I know I'm giving you all these crazy examples, but it's the truth.
No, and I know that I'm looking at a world-class coach and a supreme human being. Like, yeah, I like
Aw, Jay.
I like the way you broke that down because I spent 10 years teaching high school. Yeah, and the way you broke that down, superb.
Everybody learns differently.
100%. Let them know how they can get in contact with you. Yeah.
All right. So I am everywhere as ginajohnson.co. I am on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, all over. Not that I'm saying all of my clients should be all over. I am all over because I need to understand all of those different platforms so I can help coach people because I make that clear. I typically say 1 or 2 platforms only, but I am everywhere.
No, that makes sense. And who are you looking for to connect with specifically?
So I am looking for people who are stuck in their business. I light the fire under your butt. I ignite the passion in your business. So if you're like, I need this to be a stellar year. Last year, I was kind of going through the motions. Come with me, and I promise I will ignite the passion in your business and light a little fire under your butt.
Amazing. And on that note, Gina, thank you very much. Obrigado.
I like you using the Portuguese.
El goste bastante. El goste bastante. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. She leads, she sells with Gina Johnson.
Thank you, Jen.